Hi guys, I've got comments about my children, Misha and Kostya, where they were born, and what citizenship they have. So they were born in Indonesia. I went to Bali to natural birth clinic. I've heard many times about that special place, and I was totally sure that I want to give birth to my children only there, because I was so afraid to go to hospital, to any clinic, and I also was afraid to give birth at home. I know my friends practiced that home birth, but I was scary. I was so afraid. I just wanted to a place which is like home but clinic at the same time, so where it feels like home, like you are not in the hospital, but where the doctors which can take care of you if something goes wrong. But it was important for me that doctors doesn't look like doctors, and I found that place. It was Indonesia, Bali, Bumi Sihat Clinic, and that's what I wanted. And I go there to give birth to Misha and Kostya, and it was an unforgettable experience. Misha was born in the water, in a bathroom, and there was frangipani flowers, plumeria, and Balinese women were singing mantra when the head was going outside, and it was really unforgettable. Live singing mantras and flowers and so nice people around, which are doctors, midwives, but looks like just friends, not like doctors without these medical clothes. By the way, I already discussed this with Ksenia's wife, and you can see the video here. We talked about this. She also gave birth to her eldest son in Bali. And Misha and Kostya have Russian citizenship. We just went to Russian embassy and they got passport and birth certificate. And all foreigner kids which were born in the Philippines, they have Russian citizenship, because the parents should go to the Russian embassy in Manila and then get the Russian passport. So I don't know how to get Filipino citizenship. I think that is impossible here. The only way is when you marry to Filipina and live in the Philippines for a very long time, non-stop. And you guys also asked me about the Filipino citizenship, and I haven't been living in the Philippines non-stop since 2011. I came in 2011, and my resort, my Russian community existed since 2011 up to 2013. So in 2013, that British owner of the resort, which I rented for my resort, he increased the price so high, so I had big losses, and I was so upset about that, and I had to close the project. And I was so upset, so me and my ex-husband, we left the Philippines and went traveling. We traveled to Vietnam, to Ukraine, to Russia, to Cambodia, and other countries, Malaysia. And then we bought a land in Crimea, a land and house, and we were growing fruit trees and berries and vegetables there. So we lived half year in Crimea in our fruit garden, and half year we traveled to tropical countries, different countries. And I always wanted to come back to Samal, to the Philippines, but my ex-husband Sergey, friendly Russian, he didn't want to come back. He said he wanted to travel, to visit new places, and he said we can come back later, let's travel. And we also started to travel to India, to Sri Lanka, and what else? Other countries like which we already visited, but new islands, new places. You know, he's a traveler inside inside of him, so we traveled to other places. Yeah, but as I told you in my previous video, in 2015 we bought a land here in Samal, and we wanted to create our own resort and community, but we didn't have that power because we had small children, small Misha and Kostya, and no power for the community. Yeah. So the land was just the land, just empty, without anything. And in 2022, it finally happened. We came back to Samal for life. I think it happened because of the COVID. So Sergey didn't want to come back. He wanted to travel, only travel, different places. And when after COVID, all countries were closed for tourists, and only the Philippines was the first country that opened the entrance for Russians. And I was like, wow, we will fly to the Philippines again, to Samal. And so this is, I think, because the COVID. We came back in 2022 in Denis and Karina resort. And that's the funny thing, that before Denis lived in my resort, and then I started to live in his resort in Russian village. It was so amazing reunion to meet Denis and Karina again after the years and hug each other. I remember when we met, we talked to each other for so long time, and every day discuss everything. Yes, and kids were playing together. It was so amazing. And you know, Samal in the Philippines is really like a destiny, because here I met my husband, and here in Samal we broke up, separate after 12 years. Yeah, like destiny. And now I don't want to go somewhere. I want to live here in the Philippines with my children. So happy here. I'm so happy that Denis continue this idea of community in Russian resort and made Russian village, and also one more Russian guy who stayed in my resort. His name is Andrei. He also made one more Russian community in Russian resort near the ocean, and that is amazing. It's so great. More Russian communities. Yeah. Denis place, Russian village, is more for families, Russian families, and Andrei place is more for single people, for families also, but without children. So it's different places. And one more Andrei Kazakh, also building the resort, the community. So maybe it will be finished in a year or in 2 years. So that's great. It's so great. More Russians are coming. Amazing. I think this is amazing. And guys, I also receive comments about is it possible to buy land here in the Philippines for foreigners? No, it's not possible, but we Russians used to say buy a land, but in documents it is long-term rent with more extension. So when the rent is finished, you will extend the rent for additional 25 years and then extend again and again, like that. So it feels like it's buying the land, but in documents it's renting, like that. And Denis and Karina, they also rent the place where Russian village is, but actually it's like people pay like the price for, like they bought a land. It's only in the documents it's rent. And what about our land? We sell it. I didn't want to do that because it's good chance to build our own house later, but Sergey wanted to sell it, so we sold our land and now we rent. Maybe it's just easier because Denis helps with everything and children play together with Denis and Karina children and with Lisa, sister Lisa children. They all are playing together. So it's like a community for adults and for children also. Yes, and it's so nice when everyone gathered together here. And you guys also asked me if Misha and Kostya saw snow. They did couple of times. 2 times they saw snow in Crimea and the place where we bought land and house. And 1 time in my hometown when we went there for about 10 or 12 days to visit my parents in winter. It was January and the Irkutsk city was full of snow, like that layer so high, so many snow. And that's how Misha and Kostya saw the huge amount of snow and they like it. And as for me, I don't miss snow at all. Don't miss winter. I like this tropical climate. For me, it's very comfortable. It's not hot for me. I can sweat sometimes, but when I'm sweating, I don't feel bad. I feel comfortable as always, just a little bit sweating, no problem. Because I know some people, when they start sweating, they feel bad, feel like sick, weakness, like that. Maybe some dizziness. I never experienced that. Maybe because I'm thin, I don't know. And guys, also you told me to that I will look much better if I gain some weight, but I don't know how to do that. Because I eat a lot. You can see in my videos I eat a huge amount of food, and it's in protein and fat and carbohydrates, and I drink a lot of water and coconuts and eat a lot of fruits. I don't know, just cannot gain weight. And I had more weight when I was fruitarian and I was eating just fruits, only fruits and nothing else. And I had more weight than now. Even I had 10 kilos more than now. I don't know, it's very strange because now I eat much more calories than in the past, but I'm thinner. But for me, yeah, it's much better than to be fat when you have to restrict the calories, the amount of the food you eat. I think this is difficult. It's better to be thin. But yeah, I would like to have like bigger face a little bit. It would be nice, but I just don't know what to do. So guys, this is my story. If you want to know something else, let me know in the comments. I try to answer your comments, and of course I read them all and I love reading your comments. So let me know if you want to know anything else about me and maybe about Misha and Kostya. I'm loving your country, guys. I'm loving the Philippines, and I'm so happy that now I can live here and don't go somewhere else. Maybe I will go for just like a vacation, but I feel that my home is here. And my parents invited me to come back to Russia, especially after a divorce, but I don't want, really don't want. Better I invite my parents here again to come to Samal, visit me and Misha and Kostya, but I really don't want to come back to Russia. I love the Philippines more. I love Russian people, I love my family, relatives and friends, but it's much better for me if they come here. But I don't want to come back to Russia only for vacation, not for a long time. For me, Filipino climate is much better and people around much better, more friendly, more kind, and that's important for me. I don't meet kind of rude people here. Everyone is kind and polite. That's so nice. And people smile, people joking. For example, I come in vegetable store to buy some veggies and eggs, and the sellers joking, smiling, and it's so amazing. That's what I miss in Russia. And I remember when I came back from the Philippines to Russia and from other tropical countries to Russia, and especially from the Philippines, because Filipinos are the most friendly people I know. So when I came back to Russia, it was I was shocked first days and even first week, because people are more rude, more strict, more like serious, like that, and people don't smile, don't joking. Yeah. It's hard after the Philippines. So yeah, I want to live here. I feel my home is here. And Misha and Kostya, they never ask me to come back to Russia. Never. I think they also feel like their home is here, and that's why they don't ask to go somewhere else, to Russia or somewhere. The only thing they are missing sometimes is their friends in India, in Goa. They went to Russian school there and found Russian friends there. They communicate in messengers. This is the only thing they missing. But now they have friends here, and they know Gelen, Moshe, Karina, and Dennis friends for 3 years. Yes, and now Sister Lisa, kids, they love to play together. So guys, Salamat for watching, and if you have any questions, just let me know. I will answer in the comments, or maybe record one more video and tell you in the video. So Salamat, bye bye, see you tomorrow. Here are some pictures after our comeback to Samal. It was so special time after COVID, when half of everything in island was closed, half was open. And I remember that strong feeling inside of me, like I came back home, finally came back home. I miss so much this community vibe which we have in Russian communities in Samal. I didn't find anything like this in other countries, nowhere. I met many Russians in other countries, but it's not the same. It was totally different. It wasn't community. Many people, but everyone live very separate. It feels like Samal really unites people, Russian people, together in one island, one community. So I'm happy to be a part of this Russian community, Russian village as a guest. But to live hear and communicate with other Russians. And so many Russians who visited Samal want to come back, and they do this, always come back on the island. And I'm glad I had this experience to live, to visit many other countries, and now I can compare and be 100% sure that Philippines is my country. No hesitation, just understanding that Samal Island is my place. Mabuhay, Philippines!